Baton Rouge Police Department, East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney, U.S. Marshals, ATF, DEA, FBI, and USAO. Baton Rouge Police Department is focusing on street crimes, narcotics, special operations, and specific sub-zones and districts where we are experiencing high incidence of shootings. We all recognize that a hopeless generation is a reckless generation.
When it comes to the enforcement piece, we have made more than 3,100 felony arrests this year, 355 juveniles, and we've seized more than 1,366 firearms. We've done that by focusing in micro areas in our community, targeting a small group of individuals who are involved in crime, and we will continue.
New details just coming in this morning about multiple overnight shootings in Baton Rouge.
At least one of them is deadly right now. Deion Guillory in our First Word Center with new information that he's just getting from police. All right, Deion, what's going on here?
Yeah, a lot going on, Matt, but just in the last hour, we found out from police that a man was shot and killed in one of those shootings, and we, of course, are expecting to get more details as that investigation to his death continues. I want to show you the location of where that shooting happened. This is in 650 West McKinley Street. This is at the Alight Apartments. We're told this happened around midnight, and if you're not familiar with this area, this apartment complex where the shooting happened is between Nicholson and Highland Road. Look at this video that's new from overnight. You can see a police car in front of the sign for that apartment complex. The coroner's van was also called to the scene since someone was killed, someone died there. Someone who lived on the second floor of the building tells 9 News that they heard gunshots coming from the 3rd floor. Now, people who are familiar with the Alight Apartments know that these are student apartments, so that is one thing that we wanted to let you know about that particular area.
Far too often we are seeing re-arrests of the same individuals who have already been arrested for other serious crimes. This is not finger pointing or placing blame, it's telling the truth. It's the reality of what we are dealing with. And we cannot turn a blind eye to continuous offenses of the same group of individuals causing problems, committing crimes in our community without accountability.
Maybe they'll love me when I'm gone. God walk with me, I'm just trying to make it home. I'm a soldier, but the world on my shoulders.
Once again, the system has failed. A man convicted in a murder from 2012 picked up on attempted murder charges out on bond Monday when he led police on a chase that left a passenger in his car dead. Michael, it has happened again. A suspected career criminal out on bond caught committing more crimes. Tonight, a passenger in his car is dead after the driver with an extensive criminal history fled from police.
Mangled metal and car fragments are all that's left after Darian Bailey refused to stop for police and slammed into a car on Winbourne Monday afternoon. The passenger inside the car Bailey was driving died. Years ago, Chief Murphy Paul talked about the problem his department was having with the revolving door with the justice system. We dealt with it before. The same individuals. That is what I hear from my officers.
We've directed our street crime unit to operate in areas of the city, micro areas of the city. We've identified those areas through the partnership with our District Attorney's Office Crime Strategy Unit. At my direction, our street crime unit is in the 1st District in an area known as Mall City, doing what they were directed to do. Subsequent to their observations, they observed the traffic violation and a male in the car with a mask on. They initiated a traffic stop after seeing a traffic violation, and there was a chase. The suspect in the vehicle refused to stop. And unfortunately, there was an accident involving one of our citizens. One of the individuals in the suspect vehicle died as a result of his injuries. the male driver ran, who was apprehended by our detectives. We learned that we had just arrested him the first week of September for a homicide, for an attempted homicide. That we arrested him before he had been charged with a previous homicide. We're asking the community to lift those from our community who were involved in that accident up in prayers, as one is still in the hospital, for a speedy recovery. Pray for him. But we believe, based on the information that was provided to us, that we prevented a shooting incident.
The WBRZ investigative unit uncovered Bailey has a conviction tied to a 2012 murder. Derek Marino was killed. His wife and daughter ran out of the home, barely escaping the gunshots, after Bailey and two others showed up and killed Marino in what was described as a robbery. This was Marino's aunt at the time of his murder.
They're cowards. And all I got to tell them is they need to get up and get them a job, therefore they won't have to rob other people.
The WBRZ investigative unit uncovered a troubling history with Bailey, now tied to multiple crimes. Court records show Bailey was arrested at the age of 14 for a murder of Wyandotte in 2012. He pled guilty in 2019 to a manslaughter charge. Between his arrest for the murder in 2012 and now, he was also accused in an attempted murder from 2018. He was arrested for that shooting this month and was given a $300,000 bond by Judge Fred Crabassi. Days later, Bailey posted bond and was involved in a chase where he fled from police. It ended with the death of a passenger in his car. Questions are being raised about whether a judge even looked at the suspect's record. How did that suspect manage to get a bond with a conviction on his record tied to a 2012 murder case? Those are questions we reached out to the judge's office to explain. In an attempt to see how the system can stop repeat offenders from continuing to cause havoc on our streets, more than a year ago, we showed you this trio of troublemakers, out free on not one, not two, but three different bonds. At the time, District Attorney Hiller Moore telling us this.
Someone's out on multiple bonds and they're given a chance and then given a second chance, and now he's again on third set of allegations.
Tonight, it appears second and third chances didn't work for Bailey, who was being chased by police. They found weapons and a ski mask in the car he crashed, raising concerns and questions about what he was going to do next. Sources provided us with Bailey's identity. He is still in the hospital tonight, but police have said he'll be booked with multiple crimes when he's released. Meanwhile, calls to the judge's office were not returned by news time. For his role in the 2012 murder, Bailey was sentenced to 10 years at hard labor. He did about 7 before he was back out on the streets, allegedly committing more crimes.
But based on what I've been presented, we prevented a shooting that day. Our detectives who were called out because a gun store was burglarized near Hammond Air. And because the detectives had just recently arrested juveniles for a similar type burglary, they were able to use that information and identify a potential suspect. I want to thank the juvenile court judge who made it mandatory that that juvenile offender wore a tracking device. Because it is that tracking device that we were able to get information from that put him on the scene of the crime, and we were able to get a search warrant at a residence and seize all but one of the vehicles that was stolen from that gunshot. 14 and 15-year-old juveniles. These are data-driven policing, updating technology, standing up operations and task force with our federal partners. And we are focusing in very specific micro areas in our community.
You will see an elevated police presence.
We're also keeping in touch with BRPD to learn more about 2 more shootings we just learned about.
Now know of
This morning, some developing news on multiple shootings that happened overnight.
That's right. We now know of at least 3 shootings so far happening within less than 12 hours.
Good morning, that's right. Well, we're learning of 3 separate shootings that happened just within 12 hours of each other right here in Baton Rouge. We are now learning that there were 2 incidents that happened off of Winbourne Avenue, and those shootings happened to be connected.
Today, I'm joined by many of our partners in peace, fellow city parish leaders, law enforcement agencies at the local, state, and federal level that have been working collaboratively over the last year or more, with increased collaboration in 2022 to implement strategies from our public safety partnership led by the Department of Justice.
So when we come in that area that I just spoke of, and we know who those individuals are who are involved in violent crime in our city, just know that we're there based on intelligence, information, and please give our police officers the support.
And shot and killed at an apartment complex on Sherwood Boulevard last night. Deputies tell us the victim was Stanley Wright. We're also told he appears to be a local rapper, that's according to social media posts. Investigators tell us they believe the shooting was targeted and possibly gang-related. We're told they are still searching for the shooter. Happening tomorrow, city leaders in East Baton Rouge plan on holding a news conference. Again, we hope to get some answers from law enforcement and city leaders about what's being done to address recent shootings and violence around the city and how they're working to keep you safe. The news conference will begin at 12:30 at the City Hall.
God don't play, bro. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Man, my whole life ain't changed until, bro, I put God first, you hear? One thing about God, I mean, don't play by the churn. That man don't play by the churn, boy. Niggas always be like, man, how the f*** catch that nigga? How the f*** kill him? Man, he got shot, but he ain't die. Nigga, I'm God's child, you hear me? God don't play.
Tonight we're learning more about a police chase that left one man dead yesterday afternoon.
Officials tell me the pursuit began after they saw the three people run to the car at an apartment complex with the driver wearing a ski mask and gloves, raising concerns about what they had just saw. This is what North Acadian Thruway and Winbourne Avenue looked like Monday afternoon after a quick high-speed chase. Multiple cars were smashed and debris scattered all over. 25-year-old Larry Harris died after the driver of the car he was in did not stop for police.
Kind of followed them and observed several traffic violations, and upon trying to stop them, the suspect vehicle fled from them.
The driver then sped up, leaving officers trailing close behind. When the chase ended with this wreck, the driver of the car took off running. He'll face several charges when he's released from the hospital. Those charges will include Harris's death. He will also be charged with being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. The third passenger, a teenager, was released to his family. Those in the area say they are glad nobody was seriously injured, as police and the car did a dangerous game of cat. The driver has a violent criminal history, and there were 2 guns found in the car. His name isn't being released until he's out of the hospital. Officials tell me the pursuit began after they saw the 3 people run to the car at an apartment complex with the driver wearing a ski mask and gloves, raising concerns about what they had just saw.
End up getting killed in the process, trying to get away. And it's sensitive.
Police say the next step is for internal affairs to investigate the chase. If pursuit policies were violated, those involved will face the consequences.
Our focus areas in the 1st District of the City of Baton Rouge will be in the 1st District in B2 zone, subzone. Go to our website, find that area. If you live in that area, if you live in 1C3, 1C1 in the 1st District, you will see heavy law enforcement presence. You will see our tactical units. You will see our K9 units. You will see our aviation units. We are not there for the good law-abiding citizens. We are there to protect you, not to enforce anything on you. We are there to identify the bad actors and to stop the shootings in that area. That is the 1st District. If you live in the 3rd District, go to our website, look for 3D2. 3D2. If you live in that area, you will see a heavy law enforcement presence. We are there to address the uptick in shootings in that vicinity. If you live in the 2nd District, that is 2D1. 2D1. You will see our K9 unit. You will see our aviation unit. You will see our street crime units. We are there to identify those individuals who are involved in group activity and gun violence in our city. If you live in the 4th district of the city of Baton Rouge, go to our website, look for 4F2 and 4C1. If you live in those areas, you will see heavy law enforcement presence over the next couple of weeks. That is based on specific data that has been provided to us. We will not tolerate the gun violence in this city, and we ask the community to be patient and support us when you see us out there in our enforcement actions. Now let me be clear on this.
We also know about that other shooting that happened late last night around West McKinley Street. So Baton Rouge police were seen in the area of Underwood and Winborn after shots were fired. That was around 4:15 this morning. And also a previous investigation was already taking place near Voss and Winborn for another shooting. That's just a mile away from the second shooting. Did confirm that both shootings were related. Also, just last night, one man was found dead at an apartment complex around midnight. Baton Rouge police confirmed they responded to a shooting at 650 West McKinley Street that is located at the Elite Baton Rouge apartment complex. They have also confirmed that the coroner's office was called. One male victim died from apparent gunshot wounds, and we're still working to confirm the identity from that incident. So just 3 shootings, all within 12 hours of each other here in Baton Rouge.
Again, the priority for all partners is to identify and concentrate their efforts to investigate, prosecute, and reduce gun violence.
We will never stop working hard and exhausting all investigative leads on the homicides that our mayor mentioned. As your chief, I promise you that. I assure you that there is not a stone that's not being unturned. It's all hands on deck, and we will continue to do that. You have my promise as your chief of police.